I'm so excited to finally film this video for you guys. I've been talking about this and it's finally happening. So this is my facial sculpting video. I'm sharing with you 3 separate tools that essentially they all achieve the same thing, but they work a little differently. So I'm gonna start with the Jade Roller and then move into the Gua Sha sculptor and then the facial cupping technique that I love. So I love all of these and I use them all, but like I said, they all essentially do the same exact thing. So the first thing they do is they soften and reduce the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles. 2, they lift and sculpt the skin and they help contour your features. And the third thing that's super important is it increases circulation in your skin, in your face. It brings the blood flow and it also helps aid in lymphatic drainage. So just ridding the body of toxins, which really just gives you a more beautiful, dewy, glowy look that we all want. Before you do anything, you want to make sure that you cleanse your tools, cleansed your face, and then you want to apply a facial oil all over your face, all over your neck, your décolleté. This is the carrot seed oil from Naturopathica that I love, and I already applied it all over. And be really gentle when you're applying things. Don't pull and tug. And you want to make sure that you have the face and neck like very lubricated because you don't want to pull on the skin. This just helps everything glide very easily. We're going to start with a Jade Roller, and the most important step is you want to keep this 30 minutes before you're going to use it in the freezer so it's really cold, and that massively helps depuff and soften fine lines. This is a Zion Jade Roller. There's a bunch of different stones out there. They all have different healing properties, so just try them on, see what works for you. So you always want to start with the neck. You want to open everything up. So I'm using the larger roller here. I'm coming up the neck. So start the décolleté and then go up the neck. And then start from the jaw and you're gonna come out towards the ear. And I roll everything about 8 to 10 times. So I go over the same surface 8 to 10 times. You're gonna see a bunch of different like videos and techniques about this. I'm doing an express version because I've got 2 kids and this is what I do on the fly. I do these at least twice a day. And I also really love the Jade Roller. If you're really puffy under the eye, this is like a great depuffer. You want to switch to the smaller stone, start from the inside of the eye and then go out to the outer surface. And then coming lastly from the brow and working your way up, up, up. And then you want to come up the forehead here. And now moving into the Gua Sha, Gua Sha, I say Gua Sha. I love this. This is probably the tool that I use the most. To me, like the Jade Roller is the most gentle. So if you don't want to do any like very mild pulling and tugging, I would start with the Jade Roller. Especially if you're puffy in the morning, that's great for depuffing. And then I would say the Gua Sha is like more of like a medium intense like sculpture on the skin. So same thing here. You want to start with the décolleté. So start with the décolleté and you really want to use just a soft edge. So you don't want to dig into the skin, just a soft edge. Work your way up the neck, come to the bone. And then you want to do a tiny little wiggle when you meet that bone. There's tons of different meridians in the face. And what this little wiggle is doing, it's really just like activating the lymph. So we're like turning everything on. And then you want to come from the jawbone out towards the ear. And the same thing here. Think 8 to 10 times. I go a little faster. I'm just going to keep it real. Like I said, 2 kids. You want to like move pretty slow with intention, but let's keep it realistic. And then slowly starting to come up the cheek. Don't forget the upper lip. Tiny little wiggle. And then moving into the eye area, sometimes I switch to this different edge here, take it to the side, and once again, 8 to 10 times. And then I also like to take this like jagged edge right over the brow. And really try to soften the face. So releasing any tension. That's the whole concept of doing this. And then I switch back to this softer little edge with no divot. Don't forget the wiggle. Tiny little wiggle at the hairline. And then coming up, straight up the forehead here. So really simple. So think up, 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 out, 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 8 to 10 times. To be really gentle on the eye, then come over the brow and really get in here. Don't be afraid to like really sculpt up in the brow, especially here where we have that frown. I swear this has helped reduce fine lines and just the intensity of lines as you age. And this is what I love instead of injections and Botox. I really think this gives you like a nice, beautiful, natural look, and we're all gonna age, so it just like softens everything. So that's the Gua Sha. That is my personal, probably my favorite, the one that I use the most. And then moving into the most intense, which there's a lot of controversy here. Some people think it's not good for your skin because you're pulling and tugging. Once again, it's like waking up the lymph. It's bringing so much circulation and oxygen to your skin. You look so red and dewy after. And by the way, when you really sculpt one side, you can see such a difference in the opposite side that you didn't do. So I highly recommend testing that and just seeing what a difference it does. So I have 2 different sizes here. I have the smaller little cup for underneath the eyes and the forehead because it's such a thin layer of skin here. And then the bigger cup for like the cheekbones, the jaw, the cheek. I also do the neck here, which it's hard to like really grab, but you'll see. So let's start. So this one I'm going to start with the larger one, and you just want to give a little pinch here. Grab your skin. It takes a few tries, so don't get discouraged. And just coming out to the side here, and then you want to think drain down. So coming and drain down. So with this one, I do this about 5 times instead of 8 to 10 because it's a little bit more intense. But I want to show you the difference in just doing just a few times already in one side compared to the other. It already lifts and contours your features so much. And then I'll show you here with just the smaller circle. So I always hold the skin here so you're not pulling too much. So a tiny squeeze. Be really gentle around the eye. Sometimes it releases, just pick up where you started. And then I would say I notice a massive difference right here where we all have this like frown in between our brows. So this area takes a little bit longer because the skin is so thin. So just be really patient. This is one that I tend to do at night when the kids are sleeping. Not so much on the fly because it takes a little bit more time with getting it suction cupped to your face. And then drain everything down the neck. So this lymphatic drainage. So once again, let me just recap this. If I were to really break it down in my own opinion, I would say if you're really into like a super gentle, softening the fine line approach, you want to go here, especially depuff. This depuffs like majorly underneath the eyes. The Gua Sha is like my go-to. I use this every single morning, and this really helps lift and sculpt the face. And then like the most intense is definitely the cupping, but you notice such a drastic difference immediately when you do this. And I love to do this one at night before you sleep because your skin repairs itself at night. And that is my approach. I know it's like kind of a quick abbreviated version. So let me know if you have any questions, comment below. And I'm so excited for you guys to try this.